Last week, the Lake Park City Council held the first of what was scheduled to be 2 meetings with some of their staff and a second meeting with the members of the community at large to discuss the ongoing turmoil with their embattled mayor, Aaron Whitnable. The first meeting was held last Monday. The City Council was there in their entirety. However, the mayor was a no-show. This was a special City Council meeting that was established so the city staff could air their grievances, specifically with the mayor. And as I mentioned, he wasn't there, which to me is a very, very interesting decision. I would say it's a borderline cowardly act not to show up and face the people that you give assignments to and that work for you on behalf of the city of Lake Park. But during that meeting, some of the city staff aired a lot of grievances. Most of the grievances came from the police chief, Jay Nelson, and the city clerk, Lonnie Nooner, who are both acting on behalf of most of the city staff. They talked about accusations like being ordered to investigate both current and former council members, the police chief felt, in an effort to discredit them in some way. Secret assignments being given to certain city employees, being told, don't tell anybody about this, I want you to work on this, which created an idea or created an atmosphere of paranoia over why would the mayor be doing this, and is my job on the line if I don't do it, or is somebody else's job on the line if I do this. There were complaints filed by the mayor against his own city staff, which of course again created more hostile tensions. And there are also accusations that the mayor was overreaching his authority granted to him by statute as mayor. Now, after hearing this, the City Council decided that they was going to put in 4 different resolutions designed frankly at making Lake Park Mayor Aaron Whitnable mayor in name only, and attempting, I believe, to strip him with most of his power and to insulate the city staff from him himself. They included that all staff cannot be directed by a council member or mayor without complete consent of the council. All communications are now to be directed through the city clerk's office, not through the mayor. The mayor can no longer make any proclamations for Lake Park without the approval of the council. And the council also voted that the mayor will have no direct contact with city staff. Instead, liaisons will be used. Also at that meeting, the City Council unanimously gave a vote of no confidence in Mayor Aaron Whitnable. At the same meeting, the city staff also signed a letter signed by them saying they have no confidence in the mayor and formally asking the mayor to resign. This comes a few weeks after a petition of over 200 signatures from Lake Park residents asked Mayor Aaron Whitnable to resign. Now, this all stems from a couple of issues, but the big one is the criminal charges that Mayor Aaron Whitnable made an Alford plea to, which meant he did not admit guilt, but did admit if it ever went to trial, there'd been enough there to convict him beyond a reasonable doubt, and ended up being sentenced to 30 days in jail and probation. People in Lake Park are upset about this. They're upset about this, I think, for a couple reasons. One, the victim in this was his sister, who is a special needs person. And the idea that you can't handle the finances of your own flesh and blood, your sister, who you would love, presumably dearly, what makes the city residents feel that you are competent to be entrusted to run the entire city and the finances, presumably, of a community of 800 and something people? And 2, I think people in Lake Park are sick and tired of apologizing, or every time they talk to somebody outside of town and they hear from the Lake Park or new people in the area say, oh, what about that mayor? Because unfortunately, that's been the #1 thing that people think of. But this is what really gets me. After all this and all this hostility, why has the mayor not resigned? It's obvious that his welcome has been worn out. And I can't help but think that him remaining as mayor is his decision alone. He can't be forced out. In fact, this could actually lead to possible legislation that could lead to the removal and the future of city employees. That's been kind of rumored too. But the only reason I can think he's still there is for his own purposes and his own reason as mayor. This cannot possibly be what's best for the residents in the community of Lake Park. And when somebody is acting not in the best interest, when they're supposed to be the leader in your community, what kind of mandate does that give them to lead from this point forward? In my opinion, Mayor Whitnable is mayor in name only, has no real leadership in the community of Lake Park, as to the constituents that gave it to him have resoundingly said they now want to take it away.